My dear brothers and sisters, we thank our God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit for gathering us as a family of faith.
Beatissimo Padre, Most Holy Father, in their name, I welcome you to our country, to the city of Manila.
The unthinkable has happened. Pope Francis has stepped down and the world is left reeling. But that's not all. The shockwaves don't stop there. Cardinal Luis Tagle, a leader with an unmatched ability to connect with people across continents, has just made a move that has tongues wagging and minds racing. The Vatican is on the brink of a monumental shift, and Tagle is right at its epicenter. Let us expose the secrets of the last pope before the end. The rise of a Vatican power player. Cardinal Tagle has always been the kind of leader who connects with people on a human level. He's traveled far and wide, sharing messages of hope and kindness, and making folks feel like they matter. His latest announcement, though, is on a whole new level. With Pope Francis reaching his twilight years, the world is wondering what's next. And Tagle? He's positioned himself right in the middle of that conversation. But what exactly has he set in motion? Whispers echo through the Vatican halls, hinting at a decision that could reshape the future of the Church. And the world will soon find out why all eye. A packed press conference, cameras flashing, reporters scribbling notes as fast as they can. Tagle steps up, calm and composed, but there's an intensity in the air. His words hit like a tidal wave, stirring excitement, curiosity, and yes, even a bit of controversy. The Vatican has seen its fair share of twists and turns, but this one feels different. This feels big. Tagle's name has been whispered in the halls of power for years. He's seen as a bridge builder, someone who can bring people together. His work in Asia has been groundbreaking, focusing on the struggles of everyday folks and addressing issues like poverty, inequality, and environmental care. But with this new spotlight, the stakes are higher than ever. Let's talk about what this could mean. The Catholic Church is at a crossroads. On one hand, you've got the traditionalists, clinging to the way things have always been done. On the other, there's a growing push for change, for modernization, for a church that feels more connected to the world as it is today. Tagle's announcement is like throwing a match into dry grass. It's sparking a fire that's bound to burn bright and fierce. For years, Pope Francis has championed a vision of a more inclusive, compassionate church. Tagle's views align closely with that vision, but he's also got ideas of his own. He's talked about making the church more accessible, more open to young people, and more engaged in the pressing issues of our time. But can he make it happen? That's the million-dollar question. Behind the scenes, there's a power struggle playing out. The Vatican isn't just one big happy family. There are factions, alliances, and debates that would put any political drama to shame. Tagle's rise is shaking things up, and not everyone is thrilled about it. Some see him as a breath of fresh air, a chance to bring the church into the 21st century. Others? They're worried he'll go too far, that his progressive ideas could upset the balance. It's not just about theology or tradition. This is about the future of a 2,000-year-old institution that's trying to stay relevant in a rapidly changing world. The decisions made in the next few years could shape the church for generations. And right now, Tagle is at the heart of it all. Let's not forget the human side of this story. Tagle isn't just a symbol or a figurehead. He's a man with a deep sense of mission, someone who genuinely cares about the people he serves. His speeches are filled with stories that tug at the heartstrings, and his actions back up his words. But being in the spotlight, especially in a role as scrutinized as the papacy, is no small task. The pressure is immense, and the road ahead won't be easy. As the world watches and waits, speculation runs wild. Will Tagle be the one to take the reins? If he does, what kind of leader will he be? The answers aren't clear yet, but one thing's for sure. The church is in for a ride. Change is in the air, and Cardinal Luis Tagle is right in the thick of it. The ripple effects of this moment reach far and wide. In communities across the globe, Catholics are asking themselves what kind of church they want to see. Do they long for a return to more traditional practices, or do they yearn for a leader who will push the boundaries and bring the institution closer to the realities of modern life? These are big questions, and they're not easy to answer. Tagle's journey to this point has been anything but ordinary. Born in the Philippines, he's always had a way of connecting with people, whether it's through his heartfelt sermons or his simple, unassuming demeanor. Over the years, he's built a reputation as someone who doesn't just talk about compassion, he lives it. His work with marginalized communities and his advocacy for social justice have made him a beloved figure, not just in Asia but around the world. At the same time, his rise hasn't been without its challenges. The Vatican is a complex place with its own set of rules, traditions, and power dynamics. Navigating that world requires not just faith and vision, but also a keen understanding of politics and diplomacy. Tegel's ability to do just that is part of what makes him such a compelling figure. The idea of modernization is central to this moment. For years, the Catholic Church has grappled with how to stay relevant in an ever-changing world. Issues like climate change, economic inequality, and the role of women in the Church are pressing, and they require bold leadership. Tegel's focus on these issues has earned him admiration, but it's also made him a target for criticism from those who feel that the Church should stick to its traditional roots. Let's delve into the specifics. One of Tegel's most talked about initiatives is his emphasis on environmental stewardship. He's been vocal about the need for the Church to take a stand on climate change, arguing that caring for the planet is a moral obligation. This stance aligns closely with Pope Francis's encyclical on the environment, but it's also a point of contention for some who see it as a departure from the Church's core mission. The Church is changing, and one man's vision could shape its future. Let's see what that means. The Vatican's high-stakes gamble. Then there's the issue of inclusivity. Tegel has spoken at length about the importance of creating a church that welcomes everyone, regardless of their background or circumstances. This vision of inclusivity is inspiring to many, but it's also a challenge. How do you balance a commitment to tradition with a desire to be more open and accepting? It's a question that doesn't have easy answers, and it's one that Tegel will undoubtedly have to grapple with if he takes on a larger role. Another key aspect of Tegel's leadership is his focus on young people. He's made it clear that engaging the next generation is a top priority, and he's taken steps to make the Church more appealing to younger Catholics. From using social media to connect with his audience, to addressing issues that matter to millennials and Gen Z, Tegel is trying to bridge the gap between the old and the new. All of this makes for a compelling story, but it also raises questions about the future. If Tegel does become the next pope, what kind of impact will he have? Will he be able to bring about the changes he's been advocating for? Or will he face too much resistance from within the Church? The answers to these questions will shape not just his legacy, but the direction of the Catholic Church as a whole. The stakes couldn't be higher. The Catholic Church is one of the oldest and most influential institutions in the world, and its decisions have far-reaching consequences. At a time when the world is facing unprecedented challenges, the role of the Church is more important than ever. Tegel's vision of a more compassionate, inclusive, and engaged Church could be exactly what's needed. But getting there won't be easy. As the dust settles from Tegel's announcement, one thing is clear: this is a moment of transformation. The Catholic Church is at a turning point, and the decisions made now will shape its future for years to come. Whether you're a devout Catholic, a casual observer, or someone who's simply interested in the dynamics of power and change, this is a story worth following. Cardinal Luis Tegel is stepping into the spotlight, and the world is watching to see what he'll do next. The story doesn't end here. In fact, it's just beginning. As debates rage on and the Church grapples with its identity, one thing is certain: the road ahead is full of twists and turns. Tegel's journey to this point has been marked by faith, determination, and a deep sense of purpose. Now, as he stands on the brink of what could be the most significant chapter of his life, the world holds its breath, waiting to see what's next. Imagine this: Cardinal Luis Tegel is now a central figure in the Catholic Church, a man poised to potentially reshape everything we think we know about the Vatican. Let's break it down. The Catholic Church is in a tricky spot, facing declining membership in some areas and rapid growth in others. It's like a ship caught between storms, needing just the right captain to navigate forward. Here comes Cardinal Tegel. He's got this energy that's hard to miss. Picture someone who's all about making the Church feel like home for everyone, not just a select group. His ideas, they're bold, progressive, and honestly, pretty refreshing. Think about a church where people from every walk of life feel welcome. Rich, poor, women, men, young, old, no exceptions. That's the vibe he's putting out. But let's not kid ourselves. Not everyone's jumping for joy about it. Change always ruffles feathers, right? Especially in a place like the Vatican, where tradition has been the name of the game for, well, centuries. Some people are super hyped about the idea of inclusivity and change. Others? Not so much. They're worried this might stray too far from the church's roots. It's like when your favorite old-school diner suddenly puts sushi on the menu. Exciting for some, off-putting for others. Now, why does this matter? Well, the Catholic Church isn't just any institution. It's a global powerhouse with influence in almost every corner of the world. So who leads it and how they lead can have ripple effects far beyond Sunday services. Cardinal Tagle's message hits different, though. He talks about things like giving women a bigger role in the church, stepping up on social justice issues, and focusing on interfaith dialogue. These aren't just buzzwords, they're a call to action. He wants the church to be a leader in tackling global problems like poverty, inequality, and climate change. That's big, right? Imagine the Catholic Church, with its massive reach, leading the charge on these critical issues. But there's always a but. The Vatican is a complicated place. It's not just one person calling the shots. There are all these different factions. Some are open to change, and others think the church should stick to the script that's worked for thousands of years. So the big question is, can Cardinal Tagle bridge that gap? Can he bring everyone together without creating even more division? The stakes couldn't be higher. If he gets it right, we could see a church that's not just surviving, but thriving in the modern world. If he gets it wrong, the divisions could deepen, and the church might lose even more of its relevance. It's a high-risk, high-reward kind of situation. One thing that stands out about Cardinal Tagle is his ability to connect with people. He's from the Philippines, a country where Catholicism is thriving, and he's got this down-to-earth way of speaking that makes you feel like he really gets it. Whether he's talking to a room full of cardinals or a group of young people, he's got this knack for making everyone feel heard. That's no small thing in a world where so many people feel disconnected from institutions, especially religious ones. If he becomes the next pope, his leadership could mark a turning point for the church. Imagine a Vatican that's not just a symbol of tradition, but also a beacon of hope and change. Cardinal Tagle's focus on issues like climate change and social justice could draw in younger generations who felt left out by the church's more traditional approach. And let's face it, the church needs younger voices if it's going to stay relevant in the long run. Big changes bring big challenges. Can he handle what's coming next? Bridging continents? But, and it's a big but, there are plenty of hurdles ahead. Change is never easy, and there will always be those who resist it. The Vatican is full of strong personalities, each with their own vision for what the church should be. Navigating that while trying to push forward a progressive agenda? That's no walk in the park. Let's also talk about the global stage. The Catholic Church isn't just about Rome or Europe, it's about the entire world. In places like Africa, Asia, and Latin America, Catholic communities are growing rapidly. These areas bring their own challenges and opportunities. Cardinal Tagle's ties to Asia could be a huge advantage here. He understands the unique dynamics of these regions and could help the church connect with these communities in a deeper way. At the same time, though, there's a balancing act. The church can't just focus on one part of the world at the expense of others. Europe and North America, while dealing with declining membership, still play a significant role in the church's identity and influence. Can Cardinal Tagle strike the right balance between honoring tradition and embracing modernization? That's the million-dollar question. If he pulls it off, the Catholic Church could enter a new era, one where it's not just reacting to the world's changes, but leading the way. A church that's inclusive, compassionate, and proactive. That's the vision Cardinal Tagle is bringing to the table. Whether or not it becomes a reality? Well, only time will tell. Now, diving deeper into the details, the Catholic Church's influence has been on a steady decline in Western nations. Decades of scandals, changing social norms, and competition from other belief systems have all played a role in this shift. Cardinal Tagle's leadership would have to address these issues head-on. He'd need to rebuild trust and make the church relevant again for people who have drifted away. This isn't just about preaching from the pulpit, it's about showing action and delivering real change. On the flip side, in the global south, Catholicism is booming. Communities in countries like Nigeria, Brazil, and the Philippines are deeply religious, and their youth populations are swelling. Cardinal Tagel's roots in the Philippines give him a unique insight into these communities. His leadership could bridge the gap between these vibrant Catholic populations and the more secularized regions of the world. His focus on inclusivity also brings up an interesting point about women in the church. For centuries, their roles have been limited, but Tagel's vision could change that. He's been vocal about giving women more opportunities to participate in leadership and decision-making. This isn't just a modernizing move, it's a recognition of the immense contributions women have made to the church's mission throughout history. Interfaith dialogue is another area where Tegel shines. In a world that's more interconnected than ever, fostering understanding between religions is crucial. Cardinal Tagel's open-mindedness and willingness to engage with leaders of other faiths could position the church as a global peacemaker. This kind of leadership is not only inspiring, but also essential in today's divided world. Another pressing issue is climate change. The Catholic Church under Pope Francis has already made significant strides in this area, but Cardinal Tegel could take it even further. His emphasis on stewardship of the earth aligns with the values of many young Catholics and environmental activists. Imagine the church leading initiatives to combat climate change on a global scale. It's a powerful image, and it's entirely within reach. Cardinal Tegel's approach also emphasizes the importance of tackling inequality. Whether it's economic disparity, racial injustice, or social exclusion, he's shown a commitment to uplifting the marginalized. This kind of focus could transform the church into a beacon of hope for millions who feel left behind by society. Now, while all of this sounds promising, it's important to acknowledge the challenges. The Vatican's bureaucracy is complex and often resistant to change. Implementing reforms would require not just vision, but also incredible political skill. Tegel would need to navigate these waters carefully to ensure his ideas don't get bogged down in red tape. Cardinal Luis Tegel has always been a figure to watch in the Catholic Church, and now the spotlight is brighter than ever. Some folks see him as a beacon of change, while others worry he's steering the ship too far from its roots. No matter where you stand, there's no denying that he's at the center of one of the Church's most critical moments. The big question is, can he balance the old and the new while keeping the Church united? For generations, the Catholic Church has been a rock, holding firm to traditions that stretch back centuries. But times are changing. The world moves faster, people face new challenges, and the Church's role in this modern age is up for debate. Enter Cardinal Tegel, a man with a fresh perspective and a drive to make faith matter in today's world. He's got the charisma to draw people in, especially young folks. But he's also got critics who think he's moving too quickly. The tension lies between two groups: those who want the Church to evolve and those who believe its strength comes from sticking to its time-honored teachings. Cardinal Tegel's supporters say he's exactly what the Church needs right now. They see him as someone who can focus on issues like poverty, climate change, and the struggles of migrants, problems that touch millions of lives daily. For them, he's a leader who can make the Church more compassionate and relatable. But not everyone is on board. Traditionalists worry that Tegel's ideas might water down the core beliefs of Catholicism. They argue that the Church's teachings on topics like family, marriage, and morality should remain untouched. For them, change isn't a sign of progress, but a risk of losing the essence of what the Church stands for. They're not against addressing social issues, but they believe these concerns shouldn't overshadow spiritual truths. Should the Church prioritize adapting to modern challenges or preserving its traditional teachings? Share your thoughts in the comments, like this post, and subscribe for more debates.